necessary. Is that what you're saying?
We support Israel. I support it. I think we both support Israel.
Well, then let's move on. Let's move on to Afghanistan. Mr. Latham, what is the current mission in Afghanistan, and when will mission be accomplished?
The way we are approaching Afghanistan today, I don't know that there is a accomplishment goal out there. It doesn't appear to me. The president basically has said that, well, we're going to pull out next year. I'm very, very concerned that we are putting our men and women over there in jeopardy with rules of engagement where they can't protect themselves. When you take somebody off the battlefield and you have to read them the U.S. rights, we're fighting with one arm behind our back.
But the
I honestly believe that
Afghan police attacking
absolutely.
US
That's why I honestly think that unless we actually are there to fight to win, that we pull out tomorrow, because we can go after the people that we want, the Al-Qaeda, Taliban, the threats to the U.S. with covert operations, with drones, things like that, rather than to put our men and women in jeopardy today.
So let's say Barack Obama tells the country we're going to withdraw tomorrow. Would you support that decision?
If we continue the way we're fighting today, yes. I think we're putting our men and women in jeopardy.
Mr. Boswell,
for no benefit.
Mr. Boswell, what's the current mission in Afghanistan?
Well, I think...
would you support pulling the troops out tomorrow?
I do, and I was sharing this with you, Kay. A little over a year ago, I sat at a table with President Karzai, and he became very clear in his presentation he wanted us to be there for a long, long time, and I took the time and I said it in a polite way. Mr. Karzai, my people do not want to do that. You know, we've come here to help you. And at that time it wasn't the case, but now I'm very pleased that our president took the courage and the event that we don't have to deal with bin Laden, that's where that started. That's a big relief for those of us who are veterans. I appreciate that very much. But, you know, I said to him then, you know, we have shown you some possibilities what you can do. We're willing to help you train your Army. We're willing to help you train your police. But you have to decide. You're kind of fork in the road, Mr. Karzai. Do you want to go back to where you were, or do you want to go and have the opportunities you have now? But it's time for us, and I said this to him then, it's time for us to bring our troops home.
Mr. Boswell, we've been at war now for over a decade, and most of that has been pretty much on the credit card that we've added to the deficit because of these two wars. If we find ourselves in a military situation in the future, would you insist on offsetting budget cuts in order to make sure that we aren't adding to the deficit?
Well, I think we ought to pay as you go. And when the previous administration came up, we knew that the expenses for Afghanistan and Iraq, we knew that was going on, but it came up separately.
Would you do that?
And that was wrong. You know, if folks had sent me to Vietnam and said, you go there and fight, put your life on the line, which happened with me and a lot of other people, and when you get home, you're going to have to pay for it, I wouldn't like that. And I don't think they like it now.
Would you do that even if it would cause a delay of support to American troops on the ground?
No,
because that was part of the problem.
No, you got to support the troops. They got the beans and the bullets and the training and the equipment. That is a must-do, and I would never not support the
So would
troops.
you add to the deficit in order to make sure you're supporting the troops?
If I had to, I'd add to the deficit, yes, in that situation that you're describing.
Mr. Latham?
Well, I mean, Congressman Boswell has voted to fund all the way through.
Right. What would you do? I mean, presumably
if you have a national emergency, if you need to send it doesn't matter. You support your men and women in uniform. You support whatever their mission is to make sure that they can get through it successfully and as safely as possible.
At the time you voted for that, you didn't know it was going to be a 10-year proposition or more.
Right.
And so, you know, if you start off by saying, you know, well, just this once we're going to, you know, we're going to borrow, or we're going to, you know, it's hard to stop that then. And I'm just saying, as you look forward.
Well, every way possible, we should try to pay for it. Absolutely. But if there's an emergency, a critical mission immediately, you support the troops.
Robin, bring us back to the U.S.
Thank you. Mr. Latham, both of you, I guess, are running for Congress in large part on your experience and your connections in Congress. Can you name one thing that has benefited Iowa because of your relationship with Speaker Boehner? And in your case, the question is going to be with Nancy Pelosi. Mr. Latham?
Well, I think certainly one of the bills that I most proud of, and John Boehner, the Speaker, was helped me bring this to the floor, was when St. Norman Borlaug, when we gave him the Congressional Gold Medal. It was held up on the floor. The Speaker, as Majority Leader at that time, basically said in the lame duck session right before the end of the year that we will get this done. We got it to the floor in honor, which is a great Iowan that we should all be so proud of. But that's just,
really,
it's very, very important, to honor him and obviously the World Food Prize.
What Robin's really asking, is it worth the 3rd District sending you back to Congress because you have a close relationship with Speaker Boehner? That's what she's asking.
Well, I don't think it hurts, but the Speaker and I have been very close friends, personal friends for a number of years. It's just, obviously he's later on now become Speaker, but it's a personal relationship. Our families know each other, kids are about the same age, and they all know each other. So.
Voters like to judge for themselves.
Right.
Robin?
Oh, excuse me. Mr. Boswell, can you tell me one thing that has benefited Iowa because of your connections in Congress, specifically with Nancy Pelosi?
Well, probably several, but I'll just start off with that we passed a Suicide Prevention Act, which was my bill, and based on a constituent situation in the district. And I continue to fight for veterans, and everybody knows that, and they respect me for it because I am a veteran and went through that. Saw a lot of things, but I think that's a big item. It's saving lives. This Suicide Prevention Act is saving lives. There's more we need to do, but it started a springboard to talking about it with the military and others to come together and see how we can do better to stop this. And I think that's very important to Iowans. I passed a farm bill, and when I was chair of the Livestock Committee the last time, and I think that's very important to Iowans. And of course, at that time we had Ms. Pelosi's agreement with it and so on, but we're friends too, but not in the category that Tom is. That's his business, He's got somebody you can go smoke with and play golf with and go on vacation with and have dinner with. I don't get to do that, but that's okay. That's your business.
Mr. Boswell, do you have dinner with the president? What's your relationship like with Barack Obama?
Well, I think it's good. He's welcome to come to the district anytime he wants to. I would glad to have him.
He's here a lot. He is here a lot. He comes to visit a lot.
Well, he and Mr. Romney both are here a lot, and we all understand that. I presume you don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that.
But do you feel like he has done enough to reach out to members of Congress such as yourself? Do you feel like you have a rapport with him?
Oh, I think so to some extent. I wouldn't say that I'm his buddy or anything, but I'm his friend. I think he's working hard. I think that we've established under his leadership, bin Laden is gone. That's a big item for me. The relationship around the world with some of my NATO allies that I served with, I still have contact with. Let me finish. You asked me a question.
Yes, but you're giving me a much longer answer than we have time for.
Well, he's done a good job of lifting up our relationship with other countries, and it was, people.
Okay, but I asked about personal relationship, and we really are short on time. So, Mr. Latham, what is your relationship like with Mitt Romney? Should he be elected president? Do you feel like there would be a personal relationship with him where you could do things for Iowa?
Oh, absolutely. And I was just with him the other day when he was in Van Meter. He understands agriculture. He understands what we need in agriculture going forward as far as free trade. But no, he's got the right kind of attitude, I think, that will make it much easier to work with. The frustration I have today is with the current administration, 3.5 years now, and I have yet to see a representative from the White House in my office. The Bush administration, the Clinton administration had people all over the Hill talking to members of Congress. I have yet to see anybody from the Obama administration.
Maybe you're not making them welcome, but they're over there. They're coming over there, and I see them walking into other members' offices as well as mine, so I don't know where you.
Many of us in this room filled up our gas tank with gas to come here. You have advocated raising the gas tax. Is this the right time to raise the gas tax when gas prices are so high?
Get out and drive on those roads that you drive on, and we all do, and we have great need. And the inflation of the products going into roads, steel, concrete, the machinery that does the work, and we're falling behind. We're very much behind. And so I think across the country, and certainly in the Infrastructure Committee, we can't keep up commerce-wise. We can't move people if we don't do those things. We certainly don't want people falling through a bridge like they did up in Minnesota.
Mr. Latham, cars are more efficient. People are buying less gas. How do you compensate in the federal government to build enough a pot of money to fix the roads?
Well, and that's a great point. That's exactly the problem. The authorization right now is about $39.7 billion a year that we pay to the states. The income is about $27 billion. And the reason is because, like you said, the electric cars, you've got the hybrids out there. You have, in a downturn in the economy, you have people driving fewer miles. I just think this is a wrong time. And how that really penalizes us here in a rural state where a lot of folks have to drive 10, 15, 20 miles to work. They can't get on a subway like they can in New York.
So to summarize, you would not advocate raising the federal gas tax?
No, and gas in town here today, with $3.64, I think I saw. Congressman Boswell voted for cap and trade, which would put that over $5 a gallon.
I want to get into the last question here, and we just have a short amount of time.
I would like for him to tell us how he's going to take care of our roads and bridges and things if he's not wanting to raise any revenue because the cost of the equipment's going up.
We can't. I want to ask you, Mr. Boswell, what's unique about this newly configured 3rd district that makes it different from other districts here in Iowa? What unique characteristics would you have to address as a congressperson?
Well, I like it a lot because 9 of the 16 counties I've served before, and it's kind of like a homecoming, and I've enjoyed, yes, going to Lenox. It's been kind of fun to go there and see old friends and so on, and down to Shenandoah and so on, so that part's good. But, the Southwest Iowa is very important. We have a great industrial, or a great agricultural base here, and yes, we have some industries too, but we're a diversified state, and yes, agriculture is very important, but we got other things that we need to look after.
I must interrupt, and I'm sorry because we're running short of time. What's unique about this 3rd district that you seek to represent that's different from the other districts in Iowa?
Well, we have the most populated county in Polk County, and we have the least populated in I think Adams County. And so, and I think I can best represent this area because I understand what it is in the Des Moines, Polk County, that region, because I've worked together with it, and also coming from a town of 168 people, I understand what the rural problems are. We have growth problems, and we have loss of population problems, and I want to work to solve those problems.
Gentlemen, thank you very, very much for taking time to be with us during this hour-long session.
Dean, we're not done.
Yes, we are. We have, the clock says we are. But next week, we're taking our special congressional debate editions of Iowa Press to Newton. And there you'll see 2nd District congressional candidates, Republican John Archer and Democrat Dave Loebsack, at 7 o'clock Tuesday night, live from the DMAC campus in Newton. And we'll be showing that debate twice again at our usual Iowa Press time, 7:30 Friday night and again at noon on Sunday. Now for the entire Iowa Public Television crew here in Council Bluffs, thanks for joining us.
Funding for Iowa Press was provided by Friends, the Iowa Public Television Foundation.
Support comes from the Iowa Bankers Association. Iowa banks work with you to offer products and advice for financing and education, buying a new home, growing a business, or funding retirement. Iowa Banks, Iowa Values. MyIowaBank.com.